Hi everybody, this is the video for lesson 3.5. I just want to start off by saying I know that it looks like a lot of work, but it's mostly just a lot of words. So I'm going to recommend watching closely and doing this with me as I go through the video and pausing it as you go, rather than trying to sit and read the directions because they are a little bit confusing. I tried to make them as straightforward as possible, but they're really long, so just follow along with me and pause as we go. So you're first going to start off by watching this video on electromagnets. I'm not going to play it for you. I'll just let you do that. So pause right now and watch this video and answer these two questions so you have an idea about what electromagnets are before we get started. Okay, so now you should have watched this video and answered these two questions up here. And now we're going to start out by doing test 1. So you are going to need to have the magnetic field simulation open, and we are going to need to switch it into electromagnet mode and turn our field lines on. That is the first step. We are going to build setup 1, so you can see here I have a picture of what setup 1 and setup 2 look like. So just really pay attention. There's 4 grid points in between these two. The electromagnet is pinned in place and the red side is facing up. So I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4 in between them. So 5 grid points apart. Pin this one down. And then it says record the amount of potential energy in the system. You should know by now to find that up here. So you're going to record that and then press run and then press analyze. So run and analyze. Okay. Then it says record the amount of kinetic energy in the system, so that you will find right here this little number here, and then fill that in for setup 1 and setup 2. And then you're going to do this again that was potential and kinetic energy. And then you do the same thing for setup 2, which you can count how many grid points apart they are here, and then do the same thing. Potential energy before you run the simulation, and then kinetic energy after you run it. Okay, so I would say pause now and do test 1 and rewatch this section if you need the directions again. Okay, moving on to test 2. So you should be done with test 1 now. You should have paused the video and completed test 1. Sorry. Now we're on to test 2. And this one is where I'm saying this gets a little confusing in here, so just follow along with me, and then you can always rewatch and to do it on your own. So we're going to go back to build, and we're going to click rebuild to clear all of this. We are then going to place electromagnet A as shown in both setups, but we're not completing the setups here. We're just going to put this one here, okay? And it also tells us to make sure it's not rotated and to lock it, or to pin, or yeah, lock it. Then we are going to click run and analyze. Okay, and now we're up to step 4. Step 5, we are going to drag 2 sensor tools to determine force strength. We're going to place 1 5 grid points apart, 5 grid points from the magnet, and then 1 we are going to place 9. Okay, so there's 5. Okay. And then we want to record these values on the table below. So we're going to record those values right here. So this is setup 1, 5 apart, and then this is setup 2, 9 away. So you will write those values down right here for setup 1 and setup 2. Okay, so you might want to pause this and complete that step now so you can follow along with me. Okay, then we are going to return to the build, and we are going to place the magnets as they're shown in setup 1. So now we will place the magnet there. Should have the 5 away, so there should be 4 grid points in between. Then we will record the potential energy, which is right here, and put that on the data table here. And we're just doing setup 1 right now. Then we will move the bar magnet 3 grid points closer to the electromagnet. So 1, 2, 3, and record the potential energy again. Okay, so then that will go here, potential energy after the move, and then you will subtract before the move, subtract and get your change in potential energy. So you will do after move minus before move to equal your change in potential energy. Okay, so I'll run through that one more time and I'll complete this for you, and then you can do setup 2 on your own. So for in between, write down my potential energy, 907. Oops, nope, that is the wrong spot. After the move it in, 1,169. Subtract this number from this number, and I get 262. Okay, you do that for setup 2, same thing. This we got earlier, I just didn't write it down. So make sure you can go back and get that. And then down here, you will just answer some questions. All these blanks you will fill in from the word bank for that one, and then also for this one down here. Okay, so again, I know it looks like a lot, but just rewatch the video if you have any questions, or come see me.